Which side are you on, boys? Which side are you on? Which side are you on, boys? Which side are you on? Which side?
They were walking from a bar. I could haze it some of the details. It was a group of transgender girls walking home from a bar. They walked by another bar, and some guys inside the bar started saying racial slurs and transgender slurs and homophobic slurs at them. And Cece went up to them and said, "We will not tolerate racism and homophobic slurs."
Awesome.
And that kid grabbed a glass and smashed her face and lacerated her cheek. And then a big brawl happened between all of them, and it ended up with that guy being stabbed to death.
Oh wow!
By Cece.
Mm-hmm.
Apparel. I mean, I don't know. Allegedly, I don't know. She pled guilty, but
Yeah.
But she never was like, "No, I didn't." But it was completely in self-defense.
Yeah.
And that's what the whole thing was about.
It wasn't a cop?
Not to my knowledge. I mean, like I said, I don't know all the details. Not to my knowledge, no.
Okay.
But just how fucked up is that?
Yeah. That's
Just because you're
fucked up.
transgender, you can't fucking defend yourself?
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, it wasn't even just like, they said some homophobic slurs and then she stabbed him. I could understand that. Crossing the line a little bit.
Yeah.
But,
that person still, but,
They fucking deserve it.
to get stabbed,
But,
maybe.
But, she was, if you get smashed in the face with a glass,
yeah.
That's
just
life-threatening. That is
Yeah.
being, you have the right to defend yourself for life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I agree.
Fucking system.
So,
Sorry.
we did a poll.
We did do a poll.
Yeah, it was a Batman thing.
Yeah, I don't, which is really funny.
Yeah, because it's...
Well, it came up because after the last episode, we started talking, and we're like, why the fuck didn't we actually talk about this stuff on the episode?
Yeah. And so I just was like, hey, why don't we just do a poll? And then I thought, hey, it'd be kind of cool to do a poll.
Who owns Batman?
Who owns Batman?
Yeah, I don't even know who owns. Is that Marvel or DC? DC, right?
Oh, you caught me off guard.
Fucking hell! Like,
whoa,
we're not into this shit. Are we?
I do know, but you're calling me on my shit, and I just
I think it's DC.
Superman. It's DC.
It has to be DC, right? Because aren't they talking about doing a reboot? At least I've heard them talking about doing a reboot to do kind of an Avengers thing, but what is it called? The the Justice League.
Yeah, Justice League.
Right?
Yeah, and then that's DC.
But if they do a reboot, would you want them to maintain the same line, or would you want them to do a fresh reboot?
I would want them to. I can't believe that I forgot that it was just DC. Just saying that, I just lost a ton of credit. But
I don't have any credit, so I shouldn't have any credit when it comes to this.
It was just you called me on something, and I knew it, but okay. But no, I'd like them to do I'd like them to continue with what they did, even though I don't really like the storyline with Robin being a cop. That kind of
that's a traditional change, right? Like, what's Robin's true backstory? Original backstory? Isn't he more like a?
He was.
I always thought he was more like a. I don't want to call him a slave boy, but kind of like almost an indentured servant to Batman.
I think. Well, there's different storylines. The one that I'm most familiar with is that he was actually a acrobat, and him and his parents were all acrobats. And during one of the shows, his parents were murdered, and Bruce Wayne was at that show.
Quick question. In the show that they were in, did they use animals?
In the show they were in, did they use animals? Mm-hmm. They probably did.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
I already don't like him.
Anyway, so they were killed at the circus. Bruce Wayne saw it.
Hold on, they were killed at the circus?
Yeah, in front of everyone.
Like, why? Whoa, did you hear that reverb?
Yeah, I didn't.
Okay.
But
it's just me.
I don't know. I mean, it didn't explain right then and there in the very beginning. We might go into it later. I don't know. But they basically. Is this even recording?
Yeah, it is recording.
Okay. I just couldn't see the levels. All right. But basically they.
Down here.
killed his parents in front of him. Bruce Wayne saw it, and then he came back and like police came. He tried to get him out. Pretty much, he kidnapped Robin, and then he was out on a date with a reporter, and so the reporter was trying to get the scoop on it. She's taking pictures. Lots of complicated drama, but yeah, Batman kidnapped Robin, kept him in his little bat cave in a dungeon, pretty much as a slave prisoner, dude.
So why is he kidnapping him? Is it that like whole you lost your parents, I lost my parents, or is it like
Yeah.
But why would you kidnap in that situation?
He wanted to try to make him his protege or whatever.
Is kidnapping the way to do that? Like, I'm going to kidnap this kid and I'm going to force Stockholm syndrome.
There's a lot of really fucked up things in Batman. Like if you take the Killing Joke, that's one of the most fucked up comics ever.
Well, this is one of the reasons I've never been able to get into these comics is that like everyone's going to hate me if anyone's into comics, but I just think there's I don't know. So fucked.
I was talking with Mari about it the other day, and she said she just couldn't get into comics because there's so many storylines, and none of them are. I mean, they're all canon, more or less. You know, you have your extended.
Well, they take
universe.
bits and pieces from each other.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
They don't take the entire.
And then there's different dimensions as well. In a lot of them, you have like, Bizarro Superman.
Yeah, but that's why I've never gotten into James Bond either. James Bond's basically the same way.
Doesn't they have different dimensions? Or they don't follow those.
They don't follow. They don't stay on canon at all.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just like why? Why even get into it?
Yeah, I know. You have a basic concept that you follow, but then you just change it for every generation.
I totally understand the industry's perspective because the industry is like new is always better because we can count on the old fans plus we'll get new fans.
Exactly.
But if we continue a storyline, then we only can count on the old fans. Can't count on new. I get the money aspect of it, but from a fan point of view, it's just it's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know, like why reboot Batman? I mean, they just barely rebooted Spider-Man again.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know what Marvel's doing with that.
Is Spider-Man Marvel?
Yeah.
See, I didn't even know that. I thought Spider-Man was DC. I thought he was going to be part of the Batman world thing.
He is part of the nothing. He's not included in any groups. He might be an extension of the Avengers, but he's not really an official Avenger, from my understanding. I know that he's worked with the Hulk.
He worked with the Hulk?
Yeah.
Okay. See, and then here's my whole question is like, I totally understand like if you want to have this universe where this stuff exists.
Yeah.
But like, it just seems to me that they exist too independently all the time.
Yeah.
Does that make, you know what I mean?
It does. I was watching The Amazing Spider-Man with Mari the other day. That's when we started talking about comics. And so...
What was your take on The Amazing Spider-Man? I haven't seen it yet.
I liked it. I think... I don't know. The old 2002 movie compared to this one, they both have their pros and their cons, for sure. But I think he pulls off a more confident, smarter Spider-Man.
Is it funnier? Darker?
It's
what I
it might
found,
be funnier.
I can't get into any of these comics
It's not
movies
darker at all.
unless there's actually a decent level of humor in there. Like, it doesn't have to be like super complicated, complex humor. It doesn't not even like slapstick humor, but real life is comedy as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Like, people will find the stupidest things to laugh at in stressful situations. So, like, if you're in a stressful situation in these comic book movies and no one's ever cracking something or making something, it takes me out of the realm. Like, I can't buy into the realm that they're trying to create.
I think the new one had some comedy in it. It's I don't know. The thing I like Spider-Man. It's more sci-fi than other comics.
What makes it like more sci-fi?
You got you have like Doc Ock. He's a scientist. You got somebody bitten by a radioactive spider. You have Oscorp, which is where Green Goblin and like other characters, and like his nylon webbing comes from Oscorp. It's just very like.
So in this one, he doesn't actually shoot out the nylon webbing himself?
No. He makes a device like.
So which one follows the comic more closely?
Making the device, yeah. This new one does.
Okay. So,
but this one, he's not with Mary Jane. He's with. Holy shit! I can't think right now. His first.
You're looking at me. I have no.
I don't know where my mind is today. I can't think of comic stuff, but he's with his first lady, who was the original before Mary Jane, and the way that she died is the most ridiculous way that anyone has ever died in a comic book, in my opinion.
How did she die?
She was thrown off of a bridge, and when he went to save her with his webbing, he stopped her in midair with the webbing, and the force of that stop broke her neck because of the whiplash. So he killed her.
So relatively realistic.
Yeah, it's realistic.
Die. if you can get to the point that he could shoot webbing,
and if there's the Green Goblin could really throw her off the bridge, that's the other. Yeah, but so and then Mary Jane comes into the picture, and they were actually enemies, and that's kind of fucked up.
So why were they? I should just watch this movie.
Well, this one has nothing. This doesn't even have Mary.
Oh, that's all in the comic.
This is comic. Yeah, They're probably going to extend this one because
Now, with Disney owns Marvel now, is that right?
Yeah, and Star Wars.
And
they
Star
should
Wars.
just buy DC and just make.
Didn't they just buy Lucasfilms, not just Star Wars?
Yeah, no, they bought Lucasfilm, so
Okay.
they bought all of it. So they could have, and then if they bought DC, that would just make every comic book fan just pissed off as hell, because then they can merge them together. And have
What-
an actual Marvel
what do you
versus
think
DC.
Disney's going to do with both franchises?
I think what they've done with the Marvel one's pretty good. I think that they're a part of those movies, and so I think what they're doing with the movies, for the most part, is pretty cool. And I'm excited about the Star Wars. I don't care. I'm a fanboy, but
What makes you excited about the Star Wars?
I just like a continuation. I don't really give a fuck.
You're like, entertain me.
Exactly. Like, and everyone's like, well, blah, blah, blah. They didn't even like the prequels that they released. And I mean, Jar Jar
I haven't
Binks.
seen them.
Yeah.
So
And that's why we're gonna have a Star Wars marathon.
I started trying to watch the Lord of the Rings the other day.
Yeah.
We started putting up our Christmas decorations early. I know. And so we're like, let's put on a movie while we do it, because we had to put on 1,300 lights on a tree and all this other shit, right? So we put on the first Lord of the Rings.
Mhm.
The fuck! I got like halfway through the first one, and I'm like, holy shit!
I like them.
Like,
They're
it's not
long,
a bad
is it?
story. It's just long.
No, they're way long. Yeah.
like long.
That's what she said. And I was gonna say,
That's what she said.
yeah.
You know that's a joke your mom or dad would have said.
Yeah, I can't believe they've been saying that a lot lately. It's ridiculous. Like, I think I started it and they thought it was funny, and so they picked up from it, but they don't know how to do it very well. And so,
Because like when we were working in your basement the other day, your dad kept saying it. And I'm like, you make no sense.
no, he's just every now and then he'll get it. But yeah, if you say it after everything, eventually you'll get it. That's what she said that works, and it'll be hilarious. Granted, but every time that it's not, it's kind of stupid.
At my work, some of my employees started saying, "That's what your grandma did," or "That's what your grandma said," or "Your grandma," instead of like your mama.
Yeah.
That's what she said. It makes it 10 times better.
Does it?
Oh god, yeah. And it's funny because like everyone at my work, they yes and everything so bad. If HR came in, all of us would get in trouble for it.
Yeah.
Like someone would say something and be like, "Your grandma," they're like, "Yeah, my grandma's a whore. You have a problem with that? She needed to feed kids."
See, with me, I feel like I get really hesitant because I know that people's moms might be dead. And so if I don't know the person personally and I still want to insult them, I say something like, "Your dog."
Because their mom might be dead.
Because their mom might be dead. I mean, granted, their dog might be dead too, but I don't know.
You guys just... Is your mom dead? No. Your mom. No, okay, your mom. Oh, she is? Your dad dead.
The fuck? Yep.
Anyways.
So I was going to get to the poll.
Yeah.
I'm surprised 17 people voted.
I'm surprised 17 people listened to this.
Yeah, but the poll was...
I'll be honest, I didn't vote.
I didn't. Who do you think will be the next Batman if the series continues, which they have signed on with the new one, in the upcoming movie? And since obviously Bane and the Joker are already...
I want to look up what the experts say about this issue.
Okay. But from our listeners' expert standpoint, we had 17 votes. We had the highest votage was Poison Ivy with...
Was the last movie Dark Knight Rises?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the highest was 35% with Poison Ivy.
Okay, Poison Ivy, that's one they've already done, right?
They have done it in the old series, yeah.
Okay, and who played...
I think Uma Thurman played Poison Ivy.
Yeah?
But what's awesome about Poison Ivy is that she's an eco-terrorist and she's all about environmentalism. So, that's pretty awesome. We can get on that in a little bit. Mr. Freeze got 0 votes. That's because last time it was total flop when Arnold Schwarzenegger did it. And Riddler got...
So it's even... So, hold on. I'm just reading this right here. Christopher Nolan is stepping down, which means they have to have a new Batman. Not just a new Batman villain.
No, Christian Bale is Batman.
Oh, sorry, but hold on. Hold on right here. Christopher Nolan will step down as director, and Christian Bale will be giving up the cowl for at least the time being, probably forever, but you can never say never for sure. They are done with the Batman franchise.
See, and that's what's weird. And because I saw that there's another Batman movie that's in production.
You know, do you know where I'm going to go to? I'm going to go to Reddit. Reddit has to be talking about this.
So it's probably irrelevant if there's another Batman movie that's in production, and it's not going to be him. They'll probably do Joker again. But anyways, Riddler got 12%, Penguin got 12%, Ra's al Ghul got 17, Dr. Hurt 6, Hush 6, and then we had 1 for Man-Bat and 1 for Anarchy, which are just totally offshoot characters, and that's awesome. So... Sorry.
I'm trying to look this up on Reddit, but you know Reddit's just full of memes.
Yeah.
And there's a meme of Batman and the Justice League, and all it says is Justice League, more like Batman and his bitches.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Oh. So, aside from Batman, what do you think about the whole Intifada?
Yeah, but hold on, wait. Before you get anything serious, I want to know, like, I don't even know who most of these characters are. So, out of the very unscientific little amount of people that answered this, Poison Ivy had the most likely.
Yeah.
Is that for sex appeal?
I think that she's just a very good character.
Okay,
She
so
did
who...
great.
I know who these ones... I know Freeze, I know Riddler, I know Penguin. I only know those because previous movies.
Yeah.
Right?
Ra's al Ghul,
Ra's al Ghul, yeah.
He's one of the top villains, but he has henchmen that do most of the shit for him.
Wasn't that what a good villain would do?
Hell yeah. And then...
So who's Dr. Hurt?
I don't know much about Dr. Hurt.
And it sounds like a...
Sounds very kinky, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
And Hush, I think, is a newer character.
Hush.
More recently.
It sounds like a song. Hush.
But I don't know much about Hush either. I just know that he's more recent, and that would be cool to have a more recent villain playing. Dr. Hurt. Here's just a random cartoon.
Whoa, that looks very sexual.
All the
He's like,
cartoons
is
look
that Batman
sexual.
like rubbing his nipples? I mean,
No,
Dr.
that's Joker. That's
Joker.
That's
That's
Dr.
Dr.
Hurt rubbing Joker's
Well,
nipples.
it's Hurt rubbing Joker's nipples.
Yeah.
Sexy.
Before you say another word, let me tell you something about myself and about the things you plan to do to Batman come midnight. Ooh, I know you'll want to stay and watch. Oh, comics out of context are always hot.
Rule 47. It's Rule 47, right?
Is it Rule 47?
I don't know.
Let's look. Rule 47.
The pool is always closed.
Yeah, that's not
Is
it.
it Rule 41? 42.
48.
Is it 48?
48?
No.
No, I don't know.
Try Rule 41 or
Oh, yeah.
42.
If it exists, there's a wiki.
There's a wiki of it. That's Rule 48. That's probably true. What's the porn one? I thought it was 47.
I don't know. I'm totally off my game today.
Oh.
I don't know my rules of the internet even.
Holy crap. I'm looking all these rules up.
Yeah, this podcast is going well. We're totally prepared today.
So you
Okay.
you wanted to talk about the Intifada.
Yeah, have you heard about what the shit that's going on in Gaza right now?
Yeah, but would you actually be able to classify as an Intifada?
Do you support the Intifada?
You know, this is one of those things that like really divides a lot of people, and I've never understood why it divides a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Like my earliest memory of the Palestinian conflict, as I will call it. Sorry, my headphones are.
Just take the headphones off. They're not.
Yeah, it's recording. Fuck it.
Yeah.
We were at the family dinner, and they were talking about the Palestinian conflict, and I think it was during the first Intifada. And my mom, who's normally really quiet about everything, doesn't really say much, especially politically, was just like, I don't understand what the problem is. Israel doesn't have the right to exist. And I got kicked out of my grandma's house for having that opinion. Which is my first realization that my mom actually had opinions.
Yeah.
And was like, holy shit, like, my mom's kind of rad. Because she just got kicked out of my grandma's house, but then it really made me think, you know. But as an anarchist, you know, regardless of anything, I don't believe religion has anything to do with politics. It shouldn't
No.
be. There shouldn't be religion in politics in any way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
And Israel is a Jewish state,
Mm-hmm.
which means that it's a theology,
Mm-hmm.
you know, a theocracy.
It's a theocracy.
Yeah, it's a theocracy. And I don't agree with theocracies in any sense of the term,
No.
whether that's a Jewish theocracy, a Christian theocracy, a Muslim theocracy, a Buddhist theocracy. I don't care. Like, it should have nothing to do with how a society is governed.
Injustice is injustice. I'm an atheist.
Exactly. So, like,
You know.
it
I
gives me a
disagree.
whole other look. And, like, what really pisses me off right now about the current conflict that I keep hearing is that you keep hearing all these politicians, well, Israel has a right to defend itself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like, I get that any individual has a right to defend themselves, but take that to their side. Don't Palestinians have the right to fucking defend themselves?
Yeah.
Don't they have the right to defend them from being ripped out from their fucking houses? Don't, you
Children
know,
being killed.
like, it's-
airstrikes.
exactly.
Targeting innocent people.
You know, like, wasn't it, like, before I went out to lunch with your boss today,
Mhm.
which is funny.
It's stupid that you say that.
He is your boss.
He is my boss.
But there was three children killed this morning in bombings, and it's just like, you know, up. I remember before suicide bombing became prevalent, the number of killed was somewhere around the ratio of 10 to 1, 10 Palestinians for every one Israeli, and it's still lopsided today.
They're saying about every 90 minutes that an innocent person's dying right now in Palestine.
And that doesn't seem like a lot, but it's a fucking ton
That's
still.
a ton. One innocent is way too much.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if the tides were turned, if it would be unreal the amount of lashback. The only thing that I'm hoping now is that the so-called Arab Spring that has arisen in the Middle East, that a lot of these countries will now man up to what they really should and actually defend the true innocence of the Palestinian
Did
people.
you hear what Egypt is doing?
No, I haven't.
It's starting to get involved. They said that their truce with Israel.
Well, they kind of have to because isn't I am so like down on international politics right now. I can't even remember the president of Egypt's name right now.
Yeah,
but his political party is part of the Muslim Brotherhood,
Yeah,
correct?
exactly.
Which his sister organization is Hamas,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So he kind of
They dropped the treaty. They're like, you know what? This is gonna be a triangle now.
and I mean I don't even know what spurred this new bombing campaign, but is it that they're really trying to push the UN for independent nation approval, or is that what it is?
What Israel's claiming is that over the last 30 days, before they started I think it's Pillar of Cloud or something is the operation name that Israel's using.
I don't know. All I know is that they're live tweeting it, which is fucking
Yeah,
disgusting.
no, that was the very first thing that they did. They actually made the announcement by tweet, which is the first time ever in history that a nation has done something like that. Yeah, we just killed a bunch of people. Smiley face. It's like,
well, correct me if I'm wrong, but somebody in the U.S. administration, I can't remember who, I think it was the delegate to Israel, I could be wrong on that, posted something on Twitter in support of the Palestinian people, and then immediately deleted it.
wow.
I can't remember who it was. I would have to look it up.
I had a friend who went on his birthright to Israel, and while he was there, of course they show you all the propaganda. I don't know if you know about birthrights very much.
Yeah,
but when you're of age,
Isn't it 17?
I think it's before you're 25.
Is it before you're 25? I think 17 is the youngest.
Yeah. You have the right as a Jewish-born person to
They're fine now.
to go to Israel, and pretty much from how my friend explained it, from going off of what his experience was like, he said it was like a propaganda tour, and they try to convince you to stay.
Every single time you say that, I'm like, that'd be awesome to follow propaganda on tour. Sorry.
But he said that he got in a lot of trouble and he feared for his life because he actually bought a Palestinian soccer jersey.
Really?
Mhm.
That bad?
And,
No.
and they found it in his luggage on the way back.
I don't know too much about what happens when you go on your birthright,
Mhm.
but I know if you're an actual citizen, you have to be in the military for 2 years.
If you're a citizen of...
Israel.
Yeah.
Now, is the birthright part of that? Like, having to join the military?
I think they are trying to convince people to...
Or is that what they're trying... They're saying, here, come to the homeland.
Yeah, and then
you can
like,
join the military and
exactly.
we'll pay for everything.
Exactly. And they try to get you to stay. My friend, he used the opportunity to just go explore the area.
Which is awesome. You should.
Yeah.
Like, I totally understand that.
Yeah. He didn't just explore Israel. He went everywhere. Then he came back, and then they caught him with a Palestinian jersey, and they nearly...
See, funny story, I was actually dating a girl who went on her birthright when we were dating. Like, that's right before she left. I don't even remember her name. Fuck.
You're a jerk.
Sammy was her name. Sorry.
Wow.
Yeah, fuck.
Anyway, Sammy.
No, but I remember because we weren't like serious dating or anything like that.
Okay.
It wasn't like, it was you're doing the motion for a blowjob. Actually, that was like at my height of my straight edge days. And when I say like my height of my straight edge days, I was like total strict about everything. Like,
You don't drink, you don't fuck.
like I'm being strict about the fucking part is what I'm talking about specifically.
At least you still...
Because I've never had alcohol, I've never smoked, I've never done any of that bad bullshit. But, like, she would always get mad because she was like, why don't you play with my boobs more? Like, why are you so promiscuous?
Wow.
I'm glad I'm not that way anymore.
For me, it was always a Mormon thing.
What, the Mormon girls just when they touch their boobs?
No. I would be like, no, I don't
I'm
want to.
Mormon, I'm not touching your boobs.
Oh, well, I need to get some action, so I'm going to leave you for Kenny, Kazar, and... Just kidding.
No, all I remember about her was that when she was doing like all this stuff to get ready to go, they were super supportive of her being vegan. But apparently, as soon as she got there, they were not supportive of her being vegan.
Oh, wow.
And like every once in a while, you get an email like, "Can someone research? I'm in this town. Where can I get vegan food?" And like send it to like this email list that we had.
That's crazy.
Because social media didn't really exist the way it is
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Then. Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy.
So, well, it makes sense. I just when they're down there.
Oh, man.
But yeah, so that's some crazy shit going on there.
It's total. I don't understand why in America it's so bad to say fuck killing innocent people, regardless of who's doing it.
Yeah, God doesn't want. If you believe in a God, your God doesn't want little children to be dying
and then
for nothing.
And going back to the whole aspect of they have the right to defend themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Well, don't. If 60,000 people were forcibly removed from their homes overnight, don't those individuals have the right to defend themselves?
Exactly.
And how long does that right last to be able to defend that?
And that's what
I'm not saying that it's an easy situation to resolve because now it's been generations upon generations that have lived there, and like I don't have the fucking answer, but I think the best solution is a 2-state solution, right now.
Yeah.
But it seems like no one will ever.
no one will agree to that.
No one's going to agree to it. But I hope the region will finally agree to it because it just seems to me that pretty much the United States is the only one stopping it.
Yeah.
And fuck that. That we should hold our administration to a higher level. Injustice is injustice. Who gives a fuck? If they're a supposed ally or not.
My dad pissed me off the other day. He was saying, and I don't know, it must be from the God standpoint because all the Christians are also supportive of Israel, gaining power because apparently
They are the chosen people.
Yeah, I guess that it follows in line with their doctrine as well. And so, but my dad was saying something like, well, I think that Israel should just kill everybody in Gaza. I'm like, those are innocent people.
What
Dad.
the fuck? Sometimes the shit that comes out of his mouth,
I know it's
totally like
it's
something
so
back.
fucking weird
Like,
because, I don't know if he means it half the time, but I think
I don't think
maybe
he does.
tries to be funny or something. But
I mean, some of the vile racism that comes out of that, and every time me and Callie will call him out on it. Like it's not like anyone lets him get away with it.
I know.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I know. I know
Yeah.
you don't either. It's not like anyone's like letting him say this stuff, and he's just like ha ha ha. It's like he says it, and we're like, no, fuck that. No, you don't get to say that.
Yeah.
Like,
and I don't understand it because and then he's Mormon, but he's not conservative. He's not Republican. He's Democratic, but then he's like, I support.
He would be Republican in almost any other state.
You think?
I think so.
Yeah, it's really weird because he'll be like, I support Democrats, but I am not for gay rights, and I, whatever. It's like, and I'm not for abortion, and so it's like, two big issues,
huge
issues.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Whenever I talk to, because my parents are of the same position as yours on this issue, and growing up, I always just wanted to be like, I wish I was a woman so I could have an abortion, so they have to deal with it, and just learn like what it really is. Not that I'm advocating, but I'm just saying like fucking have some empathy. It's not like, something that people shouldn't have empathy for. And I always wanted to be like, I'm gay, deal with it.
Yeah,
I'm just not gay.
Yeah. That's how I felt too. Like I would love for my parents to have to deal with that, and I think my parents would deal with it.
I think most people would deal with it.
They might say that they won't, but I think they will.
But unfortunately, in Utah, we have one of the highest rates of teen runaways because of how many kids get kicked out of their house when they come out as being gay, and they just are completely, pushed to the side, and it's a huge problem.
Suicide rates are
astronomical.
It's so sad.
It's a huge problem in these quote unquote red states that we have, which it just drives me insane. Like, your mom always gets mad because whenever we talk about like Iz growing up, and she'll talk about her getting married, we're always like, or to a girl.
Yeah.
And she's always like, no, don't say that.
Don't say that.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
We're like,
but my mom also, I don't know, some of the racist stuff that they say, they're not racist because
that begs the question, like, is it overt racism or is it the
the subtle racism.
Well, some of it's not subtle. It's like to say that if you.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying like their personal feeling. Like they're not overtly like blacks and whites should be separated.
Yeah.
But they're more. They still have that innate feeling of separation between people because of melatonin.
Didn't my mom say something like you were talking about adopting a non-white baby, pretty much?
Yeah.
I don't know where you were going to adopt from, but she said, well, if that's the case, then I wouldn't treat it like it was.
Well, how the discussion really came up was me and Kelly have been talking about adoption because we can't have another kid, and she asked if we would prefer a white baby or not, and we were like, no, we have no preference. We wouldn't put a preference down. She's like, so you would take a baby of color, and it was how she said it was kind of weird. But we're like, why does it like if we want a baby, we want a baby. Like it's not like we're gonna be baby shopping. If they say here's a baby that needs a home, we're gonna take it.
Yeah.
Regardless of sex, regardless of color.
Exactly.
We would be opening our home. And she said, well, it would just be really hard for me to view it as a member of the family or something. I might quoting her slightly off.
Yeah.
But yeah, that has been said, and I've heard other people in the extended family who's also talked about adoption say very similar things. Like, well, I wouldn't want to adopt someone of color.
But that's a very popular
But just
thing,
even
right?
that wording, though, to me, I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. But that's what's also weird is how now people in Utah, I don't know how it is elsewhere, but Mormons are now adopting black babies as a status symbol.
Well, I don't think it's just a status symbol. I think it's a way of creating their ranks more and getting a more diverse more diverse people in their ranks. So, like, we can be like, we're not all white. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I know it sounds ridiculous, but that's why Mormons have so many fucking kids.
And I think
because the quickest way to grow a population is to birth it.
Yeah.
That's just straightforward. If you want to increase the amount of anarchists need to have more fucking kids. Unfortunately, they're too smart for that. If you want more vegans, you gotta have more kids.
To have an army of vegans.
That's the easiest way to do it, because then it's not about convincing people to change, it's just about raising people a certain way. And the majority of people raised a certain way maintain that. That's why religion's so prevalent. Because so few people question those hardcore values that are instilled. So that's how I view it. Maybe I'm off base, but I think they're just like, we need to have more non-white people in our congregation.
Also, if you go into doctrine, they say that the lost tribes are spread out, and they're trying to find those tribes, and now they're adopting babies from all over the place so that they can find these lost tribes. And
I had never even thought about it that way.
And so that's another.
Is that too in depth of Mormon culture for most people to understand what they mean by the tribes?
Yes.
Is that Christian?
Well,
is that Mormon only, or is that Christian?
No, the tribes are a Christian thing.
Okay.
But the way that the Mormons interpret them are completely different, because they believe that we are all people of the lost tribes or whatever.
Yeah, but don't they believe? So they believe that everyone
is a descendant.
Is a descendant of the tribe. Okay, this is when. How old do you have to be to get what they call the patriarchal blessing?
12.
When you have to be
12? You have to be at least 12.
That fucking young?
Uh-huh.
Jesus. Literally, Jesus.
At least 12, and then any point.
So what we're talking about is that there's this thing you can get being LDS. It's called a patriarchal blessing, which is where it's
the church patriarch.
Church patriarch, or a priest, basically gives you a blessing, and God tells him about your future.
Yeah. Your past, present, and your future.
Past, present, and future, right? So,
he's like a psychic.
Yeah, literally, like pretty much.
Yeah, no, that's what it is.
And part of that is which tribe you are from. And most people come from one or two tribes, or they're adopted into a tribe. One of those two tribes, right? Like it'll say like you're adopted into. And what are those two? I don't even remember the two tribes now.
What tribes that you're adopted?
The two tribes.
No, there's 12.
No, but the two tribes that they do in the patriarchal blessings.
What do you mean? You could be of 12 tribes.
Yeah, but they only say two.
Usually white people are I can't remember.
I don't remember. I know the tribe of Levi.
Uh-huh.
This is an interesting fact. I know if you get your patriarchal blessing and it says you're the tribe of Levi.
Which I think I was.
Really?
I think so. I think I was 2 tribes.
You're
It was really
required to every congregation you go to go tell that bishop, because then you are instantly a new bishop.
Kinda, yeah.
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 Like it's like this weird and you instantly have like the high priesthood. Like it's this weird tribal thing. Like you're closer to God or something.
Because what happens is when you're a 12-year-old male, you can be ordained the Aaronic priesthood, like we talked about last time. And then once you go through the temple around 19, is that what it is? You can get your Melchizedek priesthood.
I think it's 18.
Is it 18?
Think
Oh yeah,
so.
they just dropped it down now, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was always 18.
Oh yeah, it was. You couldn't
It's
go
just
on your
19 was
mission.
the mission,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. And so then you get a Melchizedek priesthood. The difference is your priesthood is you're being ordained a priesthood from Aaron. When you're getting your Aaronic priesthood, but for the tribe of Levi, your priesthood comes from a different origin, and so you would have the Levitic priesthood, which is like a rare priesthood that is not. It's weird.
It's so fucking weird.
Isn't it? Yeah.
God.
And so it's weird that I fucking know it too. Like, I mean, but
I've forgotten a lot of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and so I was actually a part of 2 tribes, which is we're not supposed to talk about your patriarchal blessings, so I'm damned to hell. But
Which is interesting because Mormons don't even believe in hell.
yeah. They don't.
Interesting fact.
Outer darkness.
Outer darkness. Yeah.
So yeah, I would, and that's very rare, and
Your parents won't give you your patriarchal blessing.
they won't give me mine because when I requested it, they said, no, you're just going to do something like post it on the internet.
Which you would.
Which I would.
Which you would.
Which I would. And so...
Well, I asked my dad, this was years ago. I was like 17, and this was when I was like full on arguing with my parents about the church. And I was talking to them about the rituals that go on inside the Mormon temples.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, why don't you just tell me?
Mm-hmm.
Just tell me what goes on. He's like, it's sacred. I can't talk about it. Getting really angry and upset about it. And he's like, if you really want to know, you could just go downtown by the temple and there's heathens handing out literature that talks all about it. And I'm like, heathens?
That's so
Like
funny.
it was just blew me away that they're so crazy about that stuff.
What I do is I've done the same thing, and my dad wouldn't tell me, so I'll look it up online from like ex-Mormons talking about it. I'll be like, Dad, so why do they wash your feet in the temple? And he's like, oh yeah, that's because of the. And then my mom will be like, Larry,
don't talk about
don't
it.
talk about it.
Well, my barber. So it's really funny. So my barber here is not LDS, and he was talking to me one time, and he's like, "Do you know the LDS secret handshake?" I'm like, "There's a fucking secret handshake."
I know it.
I had no idea, right?
It's almost like the Ninja Turtle handshake.
Is it really?
Yeah.
He did something. He's like, yeah, I had to learn it because I get better tips if I give it to people.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
Creepy.
So he does this secret handshake and he gets better tips.
That's awesome. That makes sense.
And which is really funny because he was also giving free haircuts to all the Mormon missionaries in the area.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, that's awesome. I'll give you free haircuts. Not a big deal.
Uh-huh.
It's like, but I have one rule: you can never try to talk me into being LDS.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, okay, cool. So you're getting all these free haircuts. And one time, one missionary pushed it. And he's like, if you really want to talk about it, I'll talk about it. And just lambasted the kid. And apparently, the guy, whoever is over their mission, like their mission leader or whatever, found out about it. And they banned him from going back to him, even though he was giving him free haircuts.
That's awesome.
Yeah. He lambasted him about, how blacks can't have the priesthood and why that changed. And about how back in the day you could actually use black people as a way to pay your tithing.
I want to...
all the horrible shit that no one talks about.
Oh, yeah. In the beginning, Joseph Smith, black people were equal. They could have priesthood.
Yes. He actually gave the priesthood
He gave priesthood to black people.
not a ton, but quite a few. I mean, yeah.
And then his followers were getting I don't really want to stay with this if black people are going to be a part of it. And so he's like, oh, no, God changed his mind. and so blacks weren't allowed.
But it was just funny because, like, to my knowledge, he had to go to those individuals that he had given the priesthood to.
And take it away.
He didn't take it away,
Uh-huh.
but he said, God would like you not to use it.
Wow. And they're like, what the fuck?
Exactly, like, what the fuck?
And then,
like, it's a gift bestowed upon you, but they really believe it is a gift
Oh, yeah.
bestowed
Yeah.
upon you.
and then, so when they were doing missionary work in Brazil, there were black people who were not of African descent, and they didn't know what to do. So they're like, oh, you know what? And this is, by the way, this is after blacks had been given rights.
This is after the Civil Rights Movement.
Yeah, and
This
so
is late 70s, wasn't it?
I think so.
Either late 60s or late 70s, I can't remember.
And so that's how long it went on. And then, so missionary work, Brazil, they're like, well,
They said they couldn't tell the difference between indigenous and
And-
African.
Yeah, exactly. So they're like, well, you know what? I think God changed his mind again. So,
Hey, guess what? No problem anymore.
Yeah.
God changed his mind.
yeah. And it would be hilarious for me. I don't think I would ever see it, but for God to change his mind about gays too. So, but I won't see that.
In order for any religion to remain prominent, it has to change as people change.
Mm-hmm.
Even Catholicism has changed slowly, but
Yeah.
it changes.
Mm-hmm.
Mormonism is still such a new religion that it really needs to iron out all of those kinks. But I love the Mormon, how the Mormon way of getting around the gay rights issue.
What's that?
Is that we love gay people, we just don't love the act.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not a sin to be gay.
It's okay as long as you don't act on your thoughts.
It's just as long as you don't act on
Turn
it.
them out.
Exactly.
Turn them off like a light
It's
switch.
so fucking ridiculous. I still haven't gone and seen that. I want to go see the Book of Mormon.
Well,
so
I think it's
bad.
still sold out.
It pretty much you can go get standby and everything else, but I'm not gonna fly to New York for standby.
For standby, yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I could see it. It would do great here for a day.
I think you could do maybe a week here.
could probably do a week.
You could probably fill it for a week.
Yeah.
And that would be every non-LDS person in the
Exactly.
state going to it.
Yeah.
You'd get a couple that go to it. My mom said she wanted to go see it. My grandma said she wanted to go to New York and see it, and she's huge LDS.
Did you know that the church, the LDS church, is now putting ads in the Book of Mormon playbook?
I didn't know they were putting it in the playbook. I know they
Yeah.
were putting it on billboards and everything.
They were
Good.
putting it in the playbook. That says, if you really want to know what the book is about,
But-
order a free copy today.
Which is funny because the play took great lengths not to do any false doctrine.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the play's funny.
Yeah,
I mean, it
it's
takes
funny.
place in Uganda, which
Yeah.
is not a place missionaries go
Yeah.
because they would be killed.
Yeah.
But the actual doctrine they talk about in there is 100% factual, which is, I find, even more fucking hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's...
I would
just-
love to see it. The soundtrack alone just is hilarious.
Oh my god, I
I've listened
love
to
it.
it a lot.
I so love it. Oh, man.
Speaking of Mormons and racism, do you know Romney is being shunned by the Republican Party now?
I love it.
Yeah. Do you hear about that?
Yeah, I've been reading about it. I totally love it. Like they have to get away from this mindset of, you know, so like in that speech he gave afterwards, and he's like, you know, we only lost because of the gifts
The
that
gifts that
Obama
gave to minorities.
to minorities.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, and I know I've heard other pundits and things talk about this,
Mhm.
but fuck that. Like, politics is personal.
Mm-hmm.
Not that people really vote with their pocketbooks. That's been proven time and time not true. People do vote for what they feel is greater good, but that means that you need what's greater good for everyone. That's not about an individual getting a gift. That's about, and it's, I hate the term of it's giving a gift. Like, oh, life insurance here or health insurance, here you go.
Yeah.
Like, you know, fuck that. Everyone should have a right to health insurance.
Yeah.
It didn't go far enough in my opinion. It should be a single payer system. Everyone has a right to be able to go to a hospital after a heart attack and live, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah.
You know, or even, hey, you stepped on a rusty nail. You should live from that. There's no
Yeah.
reason anyone in the world should ever die from that. And if they do, it's because society has failed them in wherever they're living. That's a right as far as I'm concerned. That's not a gift.
No, and I mean, and like I was talking about last week, It even comes down to like the common cold. You don't want to be sick. That puts you out of it puts you out of society.
But the whole
And so
Republican
your neighbor's
Party
sick.
was all about giving gifts to the rich, where in this election, the Democratic Party was more about giving those gifts to the non-rich, which I think is horseshit because they're still giving more gifts to the rich than the non-rich. As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't go far enough. The inequality in this nation are so stark. I am surprised that people allow the idea that it doesn't exist. Like, people don't believe that we have classes. You'll talk to people who come from working class families who won't even acknowledge they're actually from a working class family. They're like, no, we're upper middle class.
Yeah.
You're really not. Like, it's so ridiculous. I don't know.
And I think that some of the things that he said, though, were like, he said, if those minorities wouldn't have voted, I would have won. Well,
If people just don't vote.
Those minorities don't typically vote, and they wanted to vote for him because he's black, and it's just like, shut the fuck up with your racism, dude. Like,
Voting
on
should
top
take
of
place on a
everything else.
weekend, or it should be a national holiday.
no, and it should be a national holiday. That is something that
More people should be allowed to vote.
Mhm.
Like, even in this election, and I'm not trying to say what was me on this one. I had a window of an hour where I had time to vote because of my commute and work and everything. Like, even for me, it's hard to get in to vote.
oh yeah.
I can't imagine someone who doesn't have a car or, just.
If it was on a Monday that I had to vote, my Mondays are crazy book solid from 6 a.m. until 9 o'clock at night. I don't have a free hour.
And what's even more ridiculous is a lot of people don't realize is that if you're working while polls are open in most states, and the state of Utah is one of these states,
You're supposed to.
your employer is supposed to give you adequate time to go vote. Well, my employer will give me an hour to go vote.
You
My
have to drive.
commute is an hour.
Yeah.
Which means that there's no possible way for me even to follow state law to go vote because my commute makes it too long.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
And so
I
that's
don't know.
what write-ins are for.
That's what write-ins are. I don't even think they count write-ins.
I don't know.
But what really sucks is until there's an electoral college reform,
Mhm.
we can't get away from a two-party system.
Have you heard all that stuff about secession?
Yeah. So far, every state has the petition now for secession.
Oh yeah.
Texas, over 100,000 signatures last I checked.
Yeah, definitely over 100,000. Last time I checked, it was 111. But every state now has it.
Which is funny because these petitions are hosted by the government.
Yes. Let's see the most popular ones here. They have
114,592.
and I just
Recount the election?
that one has a lot. There's a lot.
What is there to recount? I mean, it seemed pretty fucking clear.
And then you got remove marijuana from the federal Controlled Substance Acts and allow any states to decide how they want to regulate it. Support mandatory labeling of genetically engineered foods. There's some funny ones on here though, like outlaw offending prophets of major religions. To enact a law that prohibits any action or literature that offends prophets of major religions. Moses, Jesus, Muhammad.
What the
Fuck
fuck?
that. I can say fuck you, Moses, fuck you, Jesus, and fuck you, Muhammad.
Praise be upon him.
Praise be upon him. We gotta be careful with that one. Gotta be careful with that one. But I'm an atheist, so
Fuck that.
no offense to your gods.
Like, why would anyone even want that?
I don't know. It because I think that people, they're sick of people making fun of their gods. What's not to make fun of? There's like a zombie that came back from the dead. How
There's
that's
two
hilarious.
on here for the same thing. They have removed marijuana from the Federal Controlled Substance Act and allow states to decide
Well-
how they regulate it, and support a law protecting states' right to legalize, regulate, and tax marijuana.
What
like
they do in
alcohol.
that circumstance.
Those are exactly the same.
Yeah, but what they do in those circumstances are they just answer them both together.
Excuse me. Finalized standards for gluten-free.
But literally every single state has a thing on
I
here.
knew every single state had one.
And it's funny because the top states besides I think Louisiana being the exception.
So it takes 25,000 signatures before the White House will
answer it.
respond to it in some way.
But some of the answers they give are like, we can't answer that. I can't remember, but
Hold on, what's some of them?
A balanced approach to
Building a government that serves ordinary Americans, not special interests. Like, how is that? I'm going to sign a petition for that. Like, what fucking idiot was like...
I like the ones that are just, can you tell us White House beer recipe? And then they eat these ones up because they're just like, this is something that we're gonna fucking give you a...
Hold on.
3.3 pounds light malt extract, 1 pound light dried malt extract, 12 ounce crushed amber crystal malt, 8 ounce biscuit malt, 1 pound White House honey.
You have to get that from the White House. They have a beehive there.
Yeah, for their garden.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of that, we were at City Cakes today.
Which is a vegan bakery, if you guys don't know. And across the street, they have that new chocolate store that opened up.
Mm-hmm.
Callie looks outside the door, and it's like, fuck you, chocolate place! I can't remember the name of what it's called. And I'm like, what the hell? You know, and she's like, at the farmer's market, he argued with me that if you eat food that's pollinated by bees, you can't be vegan. Fuck that idiot!
That's my sister.
She's funny.
And then her ex-boyfriend walked in, and it was awkward.
Jesse?
Yeah.
Oh. But yeah, that's I can't believe that how many people are actually
Promoting excellence in science. Oh, I thought it was sex education. It's science education.
But yeah, so I'm surprised at just how many.
Okay, so why
petitions
haven't
are.
Anarchists or animal rights activists utilize this.
I don't know why. I think they have. I think animal rights activists have utilized it. Some of them, at least. But like the responses, it's kind of just a joke
It can't be
because
that hard.
oh no, to get 25,000.
25,000
No, it's not, and it's like. But sometimes they refuse to answer. Like a lot of people have done things like Bradley Manning. They're like, we can't answer on this. This is a military issue.
I understand why they can't answer that because it would look bad on them.
Exactly. Or even they had one, somebody asked about to see documents regarding UFOs. They said, we have no evidence that UFOs have ever been found. And so...
Which I believe.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry. I cannot get on this UFO bandwagon.
I don't know. I mean, I believe that there's possibility for life out
Hold
there.
on. I fully believe there's life in the universe. Mathematically speaking, it has to exist.
Yeah.
I do not believe that those life forms have the ability to travel here.
You never know. They might have advanced.
Hold on. It's a possibility. I mean, statistically, mathematically speaking, it's a possibility.
It's a large possibility because there's so many fucking
It's a
things.
small possibility that they've gotten here, though,
Yeah.
because of how long it would take to get here from one of those inhabitable planets that would have life that would be able to do that.
Depending on how their technology is advanced. They might have a mineral that
Until
burns farther than ours.
we understand physics differently.
Well, I talked to an alien once. And me and Cal.
I remember
weird shit,
when you
though.
told me, like, it was years ago, probably 10 years ago, and you're like, I saw a UFO from my house.
We did.
And you're dead serious.
I'm serious. Me and Callie both saw one. Bring your wife in if you
I'm
want
sorry.
to talk about it.
Callie has zero credibility.
Well, me and her both saw one, and then give it maybe a few years later, moved into a different house, saw the same fucking thing.
You guys lived next to an airport.
Yes, we lived, but
And a military airport
Yeah.
on top of that.
military. Yeah, it might have to do with the military airport. But it looked like a fucking tomato can without, like a can of soup without a wrapper on it.
How old were you?
I don't remember, but I was at different ages that I've seen.
And
the same
how much
thing.
lithium had you taken that day?
I don't know. And I haven't seen them since I've been off of medicine, so you're right. But point's still there. I've witnessed them with other people. I'll still believe it.
Yeah, Callie falls into mass hysteria very easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She said she saw a ghost in the hallway when I said I did, and it was probably just a hallucination.
She's probably like, I'm worried about Jordan. I don't want him to think he's crazy.
I saw it too.
I saw it too.
I used to hallucinate. Anyway.
we were talking earlier about how scared we are for Isadora to get into middle school age.
Mhm.
And here, eat this one.
All right.
I'll just rip this corner off. Sorry. We're eating vegan chocolate chip cookies from City Cakes.
They're
Because
delicious.
we are fucking awesome. And how scared we are at that age, because a lot of the things that you have to teach her, Callie doesn't have anymore. Since her hysterectomy, she doesn't have a lot of those womanly problems anymore. Not that they're problems, sorry. Well, those womanly, like she doesn't have a period, she doesn't have a menstrual cycle, she doesn't deal with any of that anymore. And we're talking about how we'll deal with it when Isadora's of that age, like we're going to have to talk to her about wearing deodorant and all that other stuff. You know, just parents talking about this. And I'm like, well, what really sucks is that, like, you at least had your mom, so you saw, you know, your mom had her period every month. You, like, kind of recognized it. She's like, I never knew my mom had a period. Ever.
Yeah.
She's like, I learned everything about female anatomy from school. I learned everything about sex from school.
I would say the same for myself as
what
well.
the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
How
My
did
parents just didn't want to talk about it.
how it's not even like not talk about it. That's like deliberately hiding basic things.
Yeah.
Like I never. It's not like I ever saw my mom changing a tampon or anything,
Mhm.
but I saw tampons in my house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I understood what it was way before.
Yeah.
It blows me away.
Well, I mean, obviously they're around, but they just didn't talk about them. They didn't tell us what they were. I don't know. Didn't talk about anything. My
See,
parents.
I always forced really uncomfortable conversations with my parents.
Mhm.
I remember I was like 15 and I opened up one of my bathroom cupboards to get like Q-tips or something, and there was a douche in there. And I'm like, Mom, you know douching can be unhealthy, right? She's like, don't talk about this. Like, I'm just being serious, Mom. Don't do it too much. Yeah, I forced those really.
Did you find their sex tapes and their vibrators?
I like their personal sex tapes or their pornos. I found the pornos. I never found personal sex tapes. No.
Okay. These are Mormon parents of yours?
Yeah, they're very Mormon parents. What's funny is that we found their porn. It was actually my older sister who found their porn, of all places, in between their mattresses. One, I don't know why my older sister was looking for stuff between their mattresses, but then my sister shows all the siblings, and then we do a sit down with my parents and say, "What the hell?"
No.
Yeah,
What they say.
my mom was like,
It's our shit.
"No." My dad goes, "It's not mine." My mom's like, "I've never seen any before, so I asked your dad to borrow some from friends." I'm like, that's cool, whatever, but there's another time that my mom found my brother's porno stash, and me and my little sister, I'm like 16 at the time, I'm not like a little kid,
Yeah.
right? And she grabs me and my little sister, who's like 14 or 15, and she's like, look what I found in your brother's room, and turned on one of his porn DVDs. And it was one of those like huge, gigantic, disgusting boob ones, where they're like 80 pounds each or whatever. It was so fucking gross.
One of the first memories I have about you, I was at your house, and your brother rushes in and says, everybody needs to get out now.
he wasn't just like, he runs into like,
Yeah.
he was fucking hysterical.
Yeah, he was super hysterical.
Like get the fuck out now, blah, 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 like just screaming, get down on the floor.
Somebody's... And, yeah, I was worried that the house was going to get shot up.
Well, that's what he was saying.
Yeah, he was saying that...
Like, get on the floor, there's going to be a drive-by. Like, just so people understand, at the time, my brother was selling meth and handguns, stolen handguns.
I didn't even know this. Like,
Yeah,
that's
like-
scary. Oh, man. And so, you're just like, let's get out.
Let's go.
Let's just leave. And I'm like, huh. And you're like, I hate my brother.
I can't tell you. Me and my brother are so opposite, it's not even funny. One of my favorite stories I have with my brother. So my brother's 2 years older than me. And one time, and we shared a bedroom almost our entire lives, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, a little bedroom. And two of my favorite stories is I was in junior high, and also my parents called me into their room, and they have a pack of Marlboro cigarettes sitting right between them.
Mhm.
Like, do you want to tell us about those? I'm like, they're cigarettes. Like, where did you get them? I'm like, I don't fucking smoke. I'm straight edge.
Mhm.
You know? And they're like, they were in your drawer. I'm like, that's because my dumbass fucking brother put him in my drawer. You know? And so, like, they talk to him, and he's the whole, oh, they're my friends, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck you for putting that shit in my drawer. You know, like, and so, like, I'm like, if I ever find cigarettes in this fucking room again, I'm breaking them, and I'm flushing them down the toilet. Fuck you.
And now your brother, he still lives at your parents' house, and I saw him smoking on the porch right in front of your parents.
Yes, that is true. But like 2 weeks later, I opened my drawer, and there was a carton of Marlboro cigarettes in my fucking drawer again.
No.
So I'm like, fuck this. I went and took each one, broke them in half in the toilet, flushed every fucking one down the toilet. I'm like, fuck you. I can't believe you're doing this. I'm like, I'm saving you. You know, as I'm doing this, he comes home, beats the living fuck out of me.
Oh yeah.
Just totally beats the fuck out of me.
Yeah, you just wasted $30 or so.
At the time, yeah, probably
Yeah.
$30. Now it's like 60. He probably paid more because he's in junior high also.
Oh yeah.
You know, like... My other favorite thing is that one time, I would have been a little bit older at this point, I would have been in high school, is I found a crack pipe of his.
What?
Yeah. Okay.
Your brother's crazy.
A glass, yeah. No, he's the reason I was straight edge and am straight edge. Like, he's the reason I never did drugs, because I'm like, I do not want to be like this crazy fuck. I found a crack pipe of his, and so I smashed it, and then I took the broken glass and laid it on his bed.
Why?
So he could see that he had like, one, I found your crack pipe, and two, it's fucking broke. Like, I beat the shit out of me then too.
Yeah, for sure. I'm surprised you even talk to him anymore. I mean, you didn't for a long time.
5 years, over
Yeah,
5 years. Yeah,
yeah.
we didn't talk for a very long time.
That's funny.
Yeah. Fuck him. He came over the other day because I was borrowing a ladder to put the Christmas lights on the front of my house.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know. It sounds weird. Atheist putting Christmas lights on the front of his house.
Merry
Yeah.
happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
But we're just trying to fit in, guys. But yeah, I don't know. I don't even know where I was going with that. He's a mess. He's just a fucking mess.
He's still living at your parents.
He's back at my parents with his wife and 2 kids. You shake your head. You live with your parents too. Shut up. I'm just kidding.
I just got out of prison. I have a pretty good excuse when I was first.
I just got out of. I'm cool. I just got out of prison.
When I first was arrested, I had my own place. Let's remember this.
That's true. That is true. Legally, like, the court mandates you live with them right now.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
So.
Anyways, we're at an hour, sir.
Yep.
Let's call it.
Which side are you on? See ya.
Don't scab for the bosses, don't listen to their lies. Poor folks ain't got a chance unless they organize.